The younger generation in the family business believes it's best to build teams, it's best to build systems and processes. But the older generation thinks teams cannot be trusted, processes and systems don't work. Now, between these two, which one is the right approach? If you would like to find an answer to this question, then tune into episode number 96 of Get Real with Rajiv. And apart from this question, I'm also going to be breaking down for you what do you need to do in a situation where you're growing as an entrepreneur, but the friends in your immediate circle are turning jealous and turning envious with your growth and talking behind your back, which is saturating your energy. I'm also going to answer the question around, should you focus on your strengths or should you improvise on your weaknesses as a business owner? And finally, in this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv, I'm going to draw the difference between accountability and anger and aggression. Because many entrepreneurs don't understand the difference between the two and end up getting angry and aggressive with their team members in the name of holding them accountable. So if you would like to find answer to these questions, tune into episode number 96 of Get Real with Rajiv. Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 96 of Get Real with Rajiv. Like every single week, I'm going to be answering 4 questions for you in this episode, and today, Chetan is going to be the voice of your questions. So Chetan, what's the first question?
The first question is by Jyoti. An entrepreneur can follow any of the below 2 strategies according to me. Number 1, focus on your strengths and use them to build and improve your business. Number 2, improvise on your weaknesses so that you become stronger and can do better in business. I'm confused whether I should focus on my strengths or weaknesses. Can you please guide me?
Well, Jyoti, like you said, both those approaches work. So how do you decide which approach to use? How do you decide whether you should focus on your strengths and stick to your strengths, or you should focus on improving your weaknesses so that you are able to grow your business? Now, while that is your question, here's my thought. Ask yourself, is your strength monetizable in your business? Which means what? Is your strength such a core strength that without working on any of your weaknesses, can you still make money? Like, I'll give you an example. A vada pav wala in Mumbai who has a large queue waiting for his vada pavs is only good at making the vada pav. Now, that skill of making the vada pav is so good that he or she does not have to market himself. They don't have to go out there and promote themselves, and they have a wait list of clients over there who want to buy that vada pav. So in your business context, ask yourself, is that strength monetizable enough? Is that strength self-sufficient to sustain and grow a business? If not, then you need to check your weaknesses. Are your weaknesses coming in the way of your business growing? Because you need to focus on your weaknesses. If you feel your weaknesses are crucial enough for your business to grow, and because they are so critical for your business to grow, you need to focus on improving your weakness. Like, I'll give you an example. You may be a great trainer, you may be a great architect or an interior designer, you may be a great photographer, you may be a great doctor, you may be a great whatever. But just because you are good at doing whatever your product or your service is, does not mean you may be able to build a successful business if you do not learn how to market yourself, if you do not learn how to sell consistently. So in such a scenario, I have seen a lot of people who are good at what they do, but they're still not successful because they don't have the critical skills of marketing and sales. And if your business requires you to have those skills and those are your weaknesses, then you better focus on those weaknesses and add those capabilities to your ability so that you can make your business successful and profitable. So Jyoti, I hope this gives you some direction to think about, to evaluate whether your strength is independently monetizable enough, or is your weakness crucial enough, which drives the dependency of the success of your business. If your weakness is crucial enough, learn it. If your strength is strong enough to drive your business, then just focus on your strengths. I hope that gives you some clarity, Jyoti. With that, let's go to the second question for this week. So Chetan, what's the second question?
The second question is by Aditya. I have always heard from you that business is all about building processes, teams, and systems, but my elders always push me to do it myself and not to depend on peoples and systems. What should I do in such situation?
Well, Aditya, firstly, bring them to the Business Breakthrough Seminar, okay? And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that towards the end. But here's what I think you need to show your elders, and that's why I want you to bring them to the Business Breakthrough Seminar, is what your elders need to understand is this. When they started the business, at that point of time, no matter what business they were doing, whether they were in retail, whether they were in trading, whether they were in manufacturing, whether they were in a services business, in their era, just to be a person who's able to supply the product or deliver the service was good enough to get enough business. So in their era, the focus in building the business was just about taking care of the production if they were in manufacturing, or taking care of the procurement if they were in retail or in trading, and taking care of the service delivery by themselves if they were in a services business. So in their era, the success in business was dependent and driven by the operations of the business. And operations of the business was something that they could do by themselves. They didn't have to depend on anybody else. Success in business in their era was driven also by the finances. As long as they knew the finances, as long as they were handling the money, they were able to calculate the input cost and the profit on the sale price, everything was going fine. So old age businesses ran on operations and finances. And in that time, operations and finances both demanded secrecy. And that's why it was driven by the business owner himself or herself, where they kept control of everything. They knew everything and nobody else knew anything. So old age business owners have that mindset even today. They feel that I should know everything, I should do everything, I can't trust my team members. But today, the success of business is not driven just purely by operations and finances. Today, the success of business is driven by new departments, new functions in the business, like your business model. Today, it's not just about delivering a product or creating a service. It's about making sure that your business model is profitable, because there are 10,000 people providing the same product or same service in every industry. So how unique is your business model? How scalable is your business model? How profitable is your business model? So business model has become a very crucial activity in business today. Marketing has become such a critical activity. Today, no matter who you are, you may be 1 day old or 100 years old, you need to be consistent in marketing to go out there, make enough noise, engage customers, grab attention, build curiosity, establish credibility, and bring inquiries into the business. So today, marketing is important for every business. So in this era where business model is important, marketing is important, management is important today. Because think about it, in the olden era, the team members would even listen to abuses of their bosses. Today, you abuse a team member, they will find a new boss the next day, they will fire you. So today, management is important, business model is important, marketing is important. Now, if a business owner wants to build a stable and successful business, with this new age relevance of marketing, business model and management, the amount of energy, time and effort a business owner needs to put in these three activities, if the business owner is trying to do everything in their business and they're doing operations also, finance also, sales also, customer handling also, marketing also, management also, business model also, it's not going to happen. So one thing, Aditya, your family members need to understand is this: the parameters that dictated success of a business has changed today. There are these new aspects to your business that you need to be focused on. And therefore, you need to build systems and processes in all these activities. You need to build teams for focused, consistent action in all these activities. Only then can you build a stable and successful business. So Aditya, make them watch this video and get them to register for my 4-hour training called Business Breakthrough Seminar. Because in that 4 hours, they will be able to analyze and realize how they are actually sabotaging the business, how they are becoming the biggest barrier to business growth. So I hope this helps, Aditya. With that, let's move on to the third question. So Chetan, what's the third question?
The third question is by Raj Reniguntla. I've recently started few new businesses and I've been a successful entrepreneur. So a few of my friends are jealous and are trying to put me down by showing negativity upon my back. They applaud my efforts in the front. I try to stay calm, but sometimes I lose control. How do I handle this situation?
Raj, how do they qualify as friends if they are doing what you're saying that they are doing? For me, these are people who are not even friends. So Raj, something that you need to understand is this: as your results grow, your energy grows. Who you are becomes a total different person. Or let me put it this way, actually, first your energy grows and that's why your results have grown. So you're no longer able to relate to those people. You're no longer able to relate to people who talk behind your back. You're no longer able to relate to people who discuss people. Okay, I mean, think about it. What kind of people talk about people? It's people who are not doing anything significant with their own life. These are the people who discuss people. So your energy vibration has shifted clearly. And they are not able to tolerate that. They are not able to see that. Neither are they humble enough to be inspired by that and elevate their own energy level. So one of the things that you need to do, Raj, is you need to slowly, with dignity and grace, without arguments and quarrels, slowly with dignity and grace, you just need to exit that circle, because you no longer fit in that circle. If there are people who are pulling you down, if there are people who are envious of you, if there are people who are jealous of you, if there are people who are talking behind your back and you're aware of it, why would you even expose yourself to that environment? These are not called friends. These are called crabs that want to pull you down. Stay away from that kind of an environment. Stay away from those kind of people and shift your orbit and connect with newer people. Connect with people who don't discuss people. Connect with people who discuss learning, who discuss ideas, who discuss growth, who discuss abundance. Connect with those kind of people, Raj. Because at the end of the day, remember this, and this is for everybody who's watching this video. What energy you surround yourself with enters you. And when that energy enters you, if that energy is high energy, then it increases your ability to manifest new results. But if that energy is low vibration energy, if that energy is negative energy, and when that enters you, it kills your abilities to grow. So you got to choose very carefully who are you surrounding yourself with. There's no point surrounding yourself with people just because you look at them as friends, but actually they're not being what friends truly are. So Raj, run away, stay away, disconnect, elevate yourself, elevate your energy vortex. That's all I will say. With that, let's move to the fourth and final question for this week's episode of Get Real with Rajiv. So Chetan, what's the fourth question?
The next question is by Faraz Ahmad Maniyar. We are hiring fast and now we have a 5-field staff. One of them was a newbie and he left because I held him accountable for not reporting. His intent was not to be irresponsible, but I wanted him to maintain discipline and held him responsible for not reporting. Later, I realized that I was a little abusive on the phone, but it was only to make him understand it is not okay to be in comfort zone. And he left. Should I change my leadership style or was it too sensitive to work in our business?
Faraz, please change your leadership style. And firstly, understand what is accountability. Accountability is not aggression. Accountability is not abusing people. In the name of accountability, a lot of business owners, a lot of managers, they get aggressive with their team members, they abuse their team members, or they blame their team members, and they expect the team members to keep an open mind and say, yes sir, I realized my mistake, I will never make this mistake. Please understand this. The moment you are getting aggressive with a person, you're actually not addressing the issue of the breakdown. You're not addressing what was missing because of which the work did not get done. You are attacking a person. And when you attack a person naturally becomes defensive. They could be offensive as well, but because you are their boss, they kind of have to go with the notion of I need to be respectful to my boss. So bosses get away by behaving stupid. But that does not mean that behavior is valid. So firstly, understand the true meaning of accountability. It is not aggression. It is not abusing people. The real purpose of accountability is to help. Listen to this word carefully. It is to help your team member realize and reflect on what was missing in their approach, which did not bring the result. And once they reflect on that and they realize what was missing, then they change their approach to bring the desired result. So accountability is a tool, it's a method, it's a conversation you have with people to serve them, support them, develop them, not to abuse them and blame them. Unfortunately, most people have misunderstood what accountability really is, and they've removed their frustration on people in the name of holding them accountable. So for us, please understand, the job of accountability is to help your team member reflect and think, hey, what did I miss? What was missing in my approach because of which the result did not happen? And once they reflect and they realize, then it is to support and develop them to bridge that gap in their approach so that they can produce the desired result. That's what the job of accountability is. So for us, definitely you need to shift your approach. There's no two ways about it. And having said that, I don't think it's about getting away so easily and telling yourself that I think that person was too weak and that's why he chickened out when I held him accountable. No. Please understand, today's workforce requires people to treat them respectfully. You may be right that that person has not done the work, But even while you're right, if you're not respectful, people don't care whether you're right or not. So please be respectful to people. Please use an approach like a coach where you ask them questions, help them reflect, be there as a mentor to guide them and cheer them on and inspire them as a leader to let them know you believe in them. That's when people will stay motivated and stay connected to the organization. But if you get aggressive, you abuse people, people will switch themselves off. And then the only person to blame for that is you yourself, because you just vented your frustration in the name of holding people accountable. So I hope this crash course on accountability helps you think in the right direction and shift your approach for us. With that, we come to the end of episode number 96 of Get Real with Rajiv. Now, before we close this episode, I need to talk to you about something important. Some of you have been watching every single episode of Get Real with Rajiv, but you are missing out on something. You're missing out on continuing the learning journey with me. Now, how can you continue the learning journey with me? All you need to do is click on the link below and register yourself for my program called the Business Breakthrough Seminar. It's a 4-hour live training where I work with you to help you identify the 7 foundational activities in your business, realize and analyze the gaps, and create a direction for growth for your business. So if you found Get Real with Rajiv useful and if you found all these 96 episodes useful, then your next step is to click on the link and register for the 4-hour Business Breakthrough Seminar. I look forward to seeing you there.